Au Nigeria, la musique donne beaucoup d'argent. Le footballeur, lui, il poursuit seulement le ballon, mais il gagne beaucoup d'argent aussi.
Nakusine somba lambo endelo banga nembamo. Nakusine somba mumi endelo banga nembamo. Nakusine somba lambo endelo banga nembamo. Nakusine somba moto endelo banga nembamo.
Petit pays number one Africa.
Dipamba mulema kakuti por mon amour. Nakusine samba lambo endelo banga nemba moye. Nakusine samba moto endelo banga nemba moye. Nakusine samba ngila endelo banga nemba moye. Nakusina mote pupa endelo banga nemba moye yo. Aye.
Epupa All right, ladies and gentlemen, good evening to you there, and hope your weekend is going good today. Mine is also going well here from my end. And let me say a big thank you to everyone who came this morning to be part of the show. Today, at this time, what I plan to do is to walk you through. Yes, today we are going to be. Let me see. I'm trying to fix the t-shirt here because it's all rumpled here right now. So I got something very interesting for you guys here today. We are going to go through the May 19th, 2019. Yes, May 19th, 2019 signing ceremony. Yes, May 19th, 2019 signing ceremony. We are going to go through that video. Yes. We are going to go, it's May 19, 2020. Yes, May 19, 2020. We are going to go through that video today, and we'll be analyzing some of the things that were said back then. So I want you to stick and stay. All right. Again, welcome to every one of you guys. This is the Tabletop Show with me, Jay Randy. And again, we have another presentation here. Let me apologize for coming on late because there are other things that I was doing. You guys saw me baking cornbread for my kids. It was a very nice cornbread. I used to bake the bread back in the days for them, but for some reason I just fell off that regimen and decided to just do what I do best. So guys, if you are watching, please share the video because I have a few videos for you guys, and then after that, we will start a real ball, okay? So let's start with small video here. All right, let's start with small video. Let's start with small video here. All right, so the first video here will be this one right here.
You know, and all that foolishness, there's proof. I lived in Sierra Leone and went to Ivory Coast. When peace came to Liberia, the biggest thing they got to say, I work in Taylor government. But the fact of the matter is that I wasn't here for the war. That's the missing. I wasn't in this country for the war. I came in after the war. I worked for a legitimate government. Charles Taylor government was an elected government for and by the people of Liberia. You know, and all this rumor about I fought war, you know, and all that foolishness. There's proof. I lived in Sierra Leone and went to Ivory Coast. When peace came to Liberia, I came to Liberia. You know, they're missing the name of, yes, there was somebody with the name of Yuri, but it certainly wasn't better than Yuri. You know, but that's not the issue. Let them keep on talking.
All right. So when you're trying to make story up because other people accuse you, it's very difficult, right? So let's bring this other video up.
My name is Alexander Cummings, and I want to work with honest men and women to change Liberia for the better. I want to open the doors of governance to all capable persons. I want to use the collective brain power of all of our men and women. I want to build a nation of self-sufficiency. I want to build an environment that thrives on and promotes a vibrant Liberian private sector. I want to ensure that we are a nation where education is key in all of our national development priorities. I want to create and nurture a development agenda that ensures our young people have jobs when they graduate from school. I want to create an environment where our women have access to equal opportunities in every aspect of our society. I want to promote a system that uses our country's natural resources for the benefit of all. I want to see our country flourish beyond our wildest imagination. We are capable of doing it if we work together. We may not all agree all of the time, but we can set aside our differences and work towards charting a new course without the infighting, backbiting, and backstabbing. Whether you're a member of the ANC, ALP, LP, or UP, we must channel our support for individual candidates into championing our collective objective, defeating the Weir administration in the 2023 presidential and legislative elections, and ushering in a governance more prepared, more capable, more experienced, more skilled, and more honest men and women. With your help, we can move Liberia to being a better country. I thank you. God bless you and God bless Liberia.
All right, so God, there you have it. You listen to Mr. Uric and you listen to Alexander Cummings. You are seeing the two individuals and you are getting to understand what their mindsets are. Today, I want to start a series of analysis on the timeline of the CPP, the timeline of the CPP document. The video you are about to watch now, I will attempt to analyze some of it, but at the same time, I look forward to you paying close attention to what will be said in the video. So right now, if my 5 people are watching here, let me look at my list here. Yeah, I see LRB guy you here. Somebody said I didn't see you. I don't know what my sister is saying when she said I didn't see you. I don't know what she mean by that. But anyway, I see my friends are here and I see my loyalist people are here. So share the video here. And what we're going to do here, because tomorrow morning we will come with another analysis again. Today we are starting a very important video here. And tomorrow we'll branch into the next segment of that video. Those who are not here, when they come tomorrow to join us, we will just ask them to come to tonight's video to watch it. So without further delay, ladies and gentlemen, without further delay, I present to you this video.
Signing ceremony with a special statement.
So this is the original video. You are looking at the original video of the May 19th, 2019 CPP signing document. So what we're going to do here is we are going to do what I would describe as a timeline investigation. We are going to listen to every political party leader that is part of the CPP, and we will listen to them and get to understand exactly what they said. Now, bear in mind, there were 2 major occasions where the CPP leader came together. The other one, let me just make sure and look at my data here. All right, let me make sure and look at my data here. Let me see here, just by looking at my data here. The first one was done in 2019. Yes, in 2019. Yeah, it was when the first ever one was done in 2019. It was when the first one was done. Yes, the first CPP document was signed on February 21st, 2019. That when they got together. And just so you know, let me just blow the things up so you can get to see it, right? So it's on pause right now. We'll bring this, but we got to go here. So I'm going to bring this here for you guys. This one here is the very first. This one that you see here is from February 21st, 2019. when they went on that platform and then talk and talk. Then after that, they came to this one now due to the COVID restriction. Because remember, the one was done in February 2019. Yes, this one was done in February 2019. But then in 2019 of March is when COVID started picking up. COVID started picking up. And then, I mean, in 2020, COVID started picking up. And then people started to go back and forward, do yeah, and stuff like that. So everything people are saying, I'm going to present to you an evidence of what everyone said when they signed. As you can see, the Mo Ali man, who is a strong Unity Party guy, he chaired the conference call on Zoom. As you can see, the Zoom is right underneath Alexander Cummings. So without further delay, let us go to the video now and begin to listen to what is going to be said. Ready? Let's blow the screen up here. So, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the signing ceremony that took place among ALP, Liberty Party, ANC, and Joseph Boyka. This is the uncut version of the whole thing here. So let me progress.
Member All Liberian Party. On behalf of the political leaders, we want to pay homage to these valiant men and women who have today brought us a document that will serve as a framework to bring together 4 strong and big political parties in the history of our country. Thank you for paying attention to the overview. The next step in this signing ceremony will be a special statement and the signing ceremony itself by the political leaders. And after that, we have transition of the CPP chairmanship by Honorable Bernard Ure of the ALP to Honorable Alexander B. Cummings of the Alternative National Congress. Then we will have acceptance remarks by Honorable Alexander B. Cummings, vote of thanks by Rugi Barry. That makes up the program today. So at this point in time, the most important part of the program is about to begin with special statements from the political leader. And we will take first standard bearer and political leader of the ALP, who is also the chairman of the collaborating political party, Honorable Benani Wilfred Ure. The floor is all yours. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Mo Ali.
So Mr. Ure is about to speak, and I want you to listen. This episode that I am starting today will help you understand what is going on and who are the players based on everyone you're going to listen to here today. It's very key. There are some people who just listen to the end of the movie and say, oh, I know the entire movie script. No, we have to start from somewhere very close. So let's listen to Mr. Ure.
Mr. Alexander Cummings, the political leader of the ANC, Ambassador Joseph Niman Boyka, the political leader of Unity Party, Senator Yumli Panga Lawrence, the political leader of Liberty Party, chairman of political parties, officials of political parties, distinguished participants in this Zoom call today, Liberians at home and abroad, all well-wishers of the efforts here today. We bring you greetings from the collaborating political parties. Firstly, I would like to augment what Mo Ali has done by not only calling for a moment of silence for Councillor Charles Walker Brunson, but I'd like to add on to it. I want to add on all members of the collaborating parties who over the years have gone to the great beyond. The dreaded angel of death have taken upon them, and they are here no more. We also want to have a moment of silence in memory of all Liberians that this coronavirus has taken on to the great beyond. We ask that we observe a moment of silence in their memory. Thank you. Fellow Liberians, man is born with his hands clenched. In life, he grasps everything he sees and desires. When he dies, his hands are wide open, leaving all that he has achieved and accomplished. Today, as we are about to sign this document, known as a framework document of political parties, may we all learn from their experiences over the years. I hope we all realize that in unity, there is strength. We must additionally realize that to agree is a positive aspect of every political venture. We must also agree that disagreeing is not a crime. And in democracy, there will always be disagreement. We would like to remind our colleagues of our commitment to Liberia and our commitment to the Liberian people. On the onset of our collaboration, we committed ourselves to serving our people.
Is the audio from the US side, so do not panic.
It's a good thought that has led us to where we are today. I would like to briefly discuss how the CPP got started and how it all materialized. By Kofi Woods, the role played by Ambassador Joseph Boyka, and the role played by Alexander Cummings. Has been fulfilled. We are extremely pleased. I can remember a little over a year ago when we gathered together at the home of Councillor Bronskin. It was Councillor Bronskin, Attorney Kofi Woods, and I. And I asked Kofi Woods to have joined us because I've known him over the years and I knew what he was capable of. And he went and he got to Councillor Brunson's home approximately an hour before me, and he had extremely good deliberations with Councillor Brunson. Upon going there, we were convinced that we could change the political landscape in Liberia. And we convinced Councillor Brunson of the importance of us getting together and the impact it will have on Liberia. And I must admit, it was at that meeting that I realized how nationalistic and patriotic Councillor Brunson was. And he told me he would do anything to save Liberia and help his people. We commissioned Attorney Kofi Woods to go and meet others. And let's see how we can put this thought into reality. Attorney Kofi Woods spent numerous amount of hours trying to get very difficult minds together. When we approached Alexander Cummings, of course, he was very warm and accepting, and he accepted the whole idea, and it appeared as if this was what he was waiting for. We all got married to this idea. We went to Ambassador Joseph Boyka, and in fact, he lectured us more about what we were thinking than we could tell him. And I can remember clearly him stating, this is the only way forward. We must put Liberia first. These three leaders were committed to what we are accomplishing here today. We sat at the office of Ambassador Boyka, and we appointed people to go and start implementing what we are signing here today. And the process started that day. We're pleased today that we are where we are today. There have been many naysayers, but it's a difficult thing to get 4 people who had different political ambition, who had people backing them that wants power at every cost, to get them together, to agree, and to fight for the Liberian people. Fortunately for me, as chairman, and I must indicate here my thanks and appreciation to Councillor Brunson, because he nominated me to head this body. And I was given a mandate to come up with a framework document. And it has been a difficult task, my people. But with the cooperation of the 4 political leaders during the process, we experienced the demise of Councillor Brunson. That was by far the greatest blow we had in this whole process. Ambassador Joe Boyka, he was always there with his wisdom and his kind advice. and his willingness to always answer when he's called upon. Mr. Alexander Cummings was an integral part of everything we did. And I must say here today, in all candor, that Mr. Cummings exhibited some leadership and we have problems. He made himself always available. And he was always willing to accept a change and to move this process forward. This has not been easy. I know my experience with my supporters, so I can imagine what they went through. But I want to use this occasion to remind all of us that we have an obligation to the Liberian people. We must ensure that the will of the Liberian people prevail, and that will supersedes our personal ambition. Because if the will of the Liberian people is not adhered to, we would not have a country to run for the presidency of. The framework document. I want to remind all of us that this document is a living document. Nothing in it is cast in stone. This document, I believe, will move from imperfection to perfection. Once we have agreement among the four of us, we will certainly make the changes or make the corrections to ensure that the aspiration of all political parties are taken into consideration in this document. This document, I want to remind our political leaders that we are the first full political parties. We must be inclusive. We must get all other political parties on board. We must leave individual desires and political gains aside. And we must think about the good of the people. I want to speak on my dream of one party. Fundamentally, I don't believe there's any difference between the ANC, the Liberty Party, the Unity Party, and the ALP. Our only problem is our political ambition. We must lay our political ambition aside and think about the suffering of our people. We must listen to the will of the Liberian people. In conclusion, my special thanks and appreciation goes to the drafting committee. They did a wonderful job. It was tedious. At times they got abusive, but it was not only the writing of the document, but it was the attitude of everybody and the temperament and all of that. The leadership, Councilor Gould and the rest of them, They did an extremely good job. Our hats off to them. And we want to really appreciate what they have done for the people of Liberia. I also want to thank the Liberian people, and I want to admonish them that they must continue to put pressure on us. Even though we might get upset with the naysayers, but their constant attacks on us that help in the whole process. We want them to, going forward, be a little bit more constructive, as doing what we are doing is an extremely difficult task. And it's incumbent upon every Liberian to ensure that this works. I want to thank my family for being overly tolerant of me during this period. It hasn't been easy, but we have achieved something. This framework document is an instrument that we will use to get Liberia to another stage. My special thanks and appreciation about the Kofi Woods. During the most difficult times during this process, I could always call Kofi, and he would advise me as a brother and a friend. And he was always there to go on mission, to try to put up fire, to convince people of what was right. Without him, I doubt we would be here today. My thanks and appreciation goes out to Ellis Cummings. As mentioned previously, it's difficult to find leaders like Mr. Cummings. Why we differ on a lot of things, he always made himself accessible to us. I want to congratulate him and inform him that he will be taking over from me as chairman of the collaborating political party. It's not an easy thing, but he must continue to do what he has done in the past to ensure that this process continues. And to the father of politics among us, our uncle, our doyen. There's so many names we can give him, but and he's none other than we call him VP, we call him Uncle Joe, we call him some of us even go as far as disrespecting him and calling him Joe. But he has truly been the pillar of strength with us. He's kept us united, he kept us together, and his many words of wisdom kept us going. I could not ask for a better team. And I want to, even though the political leader of Liberty Party wasn't there with us at the beginning, but she was certainly a splendid leader. In fact, as early as last night, she showed us leadership. When we had problems on how we proceed today, she called me and she said, Chairman, what is your view on this? What is your view on that? And I did give her my view and said, Chairman, I'll get back to you. And she called me a few minutes after that with a solution. Yumli, our little sister, we're proud of you. And we want to thank you also for all you've done. for this committee. Now, we're going forward. You all have a responsibility to ensure that this document we prepared works. Last night, I had a discussion with Mr. Cummings, and I did mention to him in the Liberian way that now, Mr. Cummings, you will have to put on elephant skin. Because politics in Liberia is a difficult thing. They will abuse you, they will attack you. It might even come from me, but keep that elephant skin strong and let it go and keep our goal ahead of you and know that you have a goal that you must accomplish. I close this brief statement again by appealing to all Liberians. The press, the naysayers, those that congratulated us when we're doing good, those that abused us when we're doing wrong, we want everybody on board. We find ourselves in a precarious situation in our country. And our generation, and I speak to the political leaders, our generation must fix what we have spoiled. If we don't fix it, our generation will go down in history as being one of the worst ever in Liberia. Again, I thank all of you for your cooperation, and we will proceed to sign the document. I will ask my chairman to sign it, and I will be attesting to it.
So guys, I know it's very boring, but this is a very close section that is giving us a fundamental understanding of how the whole process began. One takeaway here for me is the last statement that you made to Cummings, that you need to put on your elephant skin because Liberian politics is filled with a lot of attacks, including myself. So as we see today, what is coming from Europe, I don't know whether he meant what he said, but what he's doing today, I don't know whether that is being referenced to what he said. So they are about to sign a document, and after that, the rest of them will start to speak. So let's listen here again.
Mr. MC, your documents have been duly signed and attested to.
Thank you to the ALP. You have the unqualified appreciation of the collaborating political parties and the Liberian people. All of our partisans appreciate your hard work and your leadership. Next, we'll go on to Honorable Alexander B. Cummings, political leader of the ANC, for special statement and signing of the document.
So guys, what I want you guys to understand here is this, all right? All right, so let me just, zoom out of here. And I want to say a big thank you to every one of you guys for, for tuning in here, because you see, there are just other people who are on Facebook and they just follow the political drama. They love the entertainment. They love the gossip. But what you're watching here right now is the key to unlocking some of the rumors out there. Is the key to unlocking your understanding of how things are. It is a key to making a good judgment of what each political candidate is doing right now. Ure made remarks. He spoke about elephant skin and he spoke about attack against Cummings. And Cummings is about to speak, and he's also going to sign the document. It's very interesting. So let's go through this.
Cummings, all your
By the way, that squeaking sound you're hearing during that ceremony, sometimes, oh, I think my battery dying here. Oh, yes. God, yo, hold on. My battery is dying here. Oh, jeez. Yo, hold on here. My battery dying. I just got a signal. The reason I'm laughing from that squeaking sound, every day people used to say to you and myself, we're looking for a job, we're looking for a job. That's another way to get money from Liberian people. That squeaking sound hearing, whether it's carbon, monoxide, or smoke detector, the battery dying. If you continue to die, it will just make that noise for some time, it will die. When fire comes here, you end up dying. So if I were to walk in anybody's home right now and hear that thing where I say you got to buy a new one, and before you do it, you got to pay me. So let's forget about that. Let's move forward here. But I just thought to just express that to take it out of my skin.
Thank you, Mo. Mr. Benani Wilfred Uri, political leader of the All Liberia Party, Senator Yomne Kanga Lawrence, political leader of the Liberty Party, and His Excellency, former Vice President and Ambassador Joseph Numa Bokai, political leader and standard bearer of the Unity Party. All other protocols observed. Let me first acknowledge my colleagues who are in the room here with me today at this signing. The chairman of the Alternative National Congress, Senator Daniel Flomo Natin, the Secretary General of the ANC, Councilor Alosha Stowe, and the Chairman Emeritus of the ANC, Attorney Lafayette Gould. Thank you all for being here with me this morning at this very momentous occasion. Let me start by thanking the technical committee who worked tirelessly to draft this framework document. I said throughout this process that to expect that 4 independent parties that had competed against each other will come together and quickly sing Kumbaya was not realistic. That it would take time, that it would require compromises and trade-offs. And I'm happy to say that we have reached this milestone thanks to the technical committee and thanks to my colleagues, fellow political leaders of the respective parties. I also want to thank Attorney Kofi Woods for the role he played in mediating and in helping us all to find common ground. I thank you, and again, I thank my colleagues for your willingness to focus on our country, on the will of our people to reach to this milestone. Let me remind us, however, that this is just the beginning of this journey, that these are mere words on paper, and it will be all about our actions, it will be about our intent, and it will be about us showing good faith towards each other. We have to always assume good intent. We have to always speak as often as possible to find trade-offs and compromises. Because again, as Ben and I said, this is not about us, but about our country and about the Liberian people. Achieving our goals and success will require that we do the work. It will not happen because we talk it, because we speak it. It will not happen because we wish it. It will happen because we do the work. I remind us of one of my favorite sayings that I quote from Albert Einstein, that if we keep doing the same things, we will get the same results. Doing the same things and expecting different results is the definition of insanity. And we are not crazy people. Of course, there's some things that are traditional to us that we'll have to continue and stick with. And then the other things we'll have to change and adjust if we want to move our country forward. And if ultimately we want to put Liberia on the right track to prosperity and economic growth for the Liberian people. I want to thank Ben and I for his resilience, his tenacity in ensuring we got to this point. I can say without reservation that without his persistence, we may have not gotten to where we are. And although we all played a role, he as our leader was insistent, persistent, tenacious in making sure we kept this group together to achieve this end goal. So Ben and I thank you for the leadership you provided us. And I look forward to your ongoing engagement and support as we go forward. And my last comment before the chairman and I sign is again to remind us that the journey is just beginning. The work is before us. We will have some ups and downs. This will not be a smooth road to heaven. We will have bumps along the way. I want Liberian people to understand that will happen. But in the end, we will prevail. In the end, we will be successful. In the end, we'll stick together because this is in the interest of our people. So with that said, I will ask our chairman to sign on behalf of the ANC. And then I will attest. Thank you. So, Mr. MC, the Congress has signed and attested to this agreement. And I want to show my colleagues, fellow partisans from CPP parties, and most important, Liberian people, of our commitment to the letter and spirit of this agreement. Thank you all very much. God bless you and God bless Liberia.
Great.
So that was Cummings signing. Cummings just signed, make a very brief statement and sign the document. And now it's going to be, I think, Mr. Borka or Nombikanga. But I think by appearance, Nombikanga was there before Joseph Borka. but if they follow the Liberian tradition, I think Boca will end up going. But let's see how this is going to play out. All right. So let me make the screen big for you guys here to see here. By the way, I don't mean to be mean to you guys by not looking at the screen right now. I'm doing a very important research here. Yes, and it's going to be part of tomorrow morning broadcast. So I'm with you guys. My ear is paying attention here. However, I'm digging some important stuff here that will make sense for us to discuss tomorrow again. All right. So let's go back to the moderator here, Mo Ali. By the way, Mo Ali played a very important role in the whole CPP document, and I'm hoping that he will be honest to himself to come here and say what he knows about.
Thank you to the political leader and the chairman of the Alternative National Congress. Like I said to the chairman of the CPP, Honorable Benenai Ure, our partisans appreciate you all and the leadership role that you have played and continue to play. So next is the political leader of the Liberty Party, Senator Yombli Kanga Lawrence, for statement, special statement, and signing of the CPT framework document. Honorable Senator, the floor is all yours.
Thank you. Ambassador Joseph N. Boycott, political leader, Mr. Chairman, Executive Committee members and partisans of the Unity Party, Mr. Alexander Cummings, political leader, Mr. Chairman, Executive Committee members and partisans of the Alternative National Congress, Mr. Benenai Ure, political leader, Mr. Chairman, Executive Committee members and partisans of the All Liberian Party, Mr. Chairman, Executive Committee members, Advisory Committee, Liberty Party Global, and members of the Liberty Party, all Liberian women who are proudly represented today as the only female senator and the only female political leader of the CPP, my fellow Liberians. May I ask you to join me in a brief moment of silence in honor of my political father and mentor, and the founder and political leader of the Liberty Party, Councillor Charles Walker Brumskin, one of the architects behind the reason why we are here today, as well as to the cherished memory of my political partner, friend, and husband, who allowed and supported me to play these very tedious and challenging roles as a female and a mother in these male-dominated territories, and to the memories of the many Liberians who voluntarily and involuntarily paid the ultimate sacrifice that our country will know and shared in the values of multi-party democracy. A moment of silence, please. Thank you. Today, we make history. 4 of the leading political parties in our country are taking a leap of faith, trusting each other, counting on the best wishes of the Liberian people to stand together in gallant support and consolidation of our young democracy, which is being threatened by the lack of democratic leadership currently on display in our country. We pledge our support and trust in each other, laying aside our personal ambitions for the collective good of our country, especially with the administration which is violating rights and leading by exclusion and division of our people. We understand the heavy burden placed upon our heads to look beyond self and for the people who have a right to feel abandoned and leaderless as they suffer health crises and economic difficulties. We know we cannot fight for the people against the creeping abuses and tyranny of this administration while we fight separately and at times against each other. The wishes of the Liberian people is that we come together And so today we dutifully commit to the wishes of our people. Democracy is never really strengthened by the number of political parties to register in an election. It is strengthened by the quality of the opposition to hold the government accountable and honest. Today, by this solemn duty, done in respect of the prevailing conditions of our health crisis, we announce to all Liberians, our international partners, all those who wish us better and well, to all of you, we say, we are ready. Our outstretched arms, we will continue to extend to other political parties to join us. Our honest support, we will continue to lend to our people and the government. But make no mistake, our resolve to offer the deserving people of Liberia a better governance alternative built on the unity of our people, selflessness, competence, and respect for the rule of law and the rights of all of our citizens will not be compromised. Let it now be clear that our personal ambitions pale in comparison to the aspirations of our people who have been treated with lack of care by an administration they elected to care. We care that our people are suffering with economic hardships, with the president of the country, while the president of the country plays Ludo in his backyard. We care that a strange virus is killing and hurting our people, depriving so many of livelihood, while the president hides away, has a plan to respond, and has failed to lead. We care that Liberia has become the laughingstock of the region and the world by a growing display of gross incompetence. And even when the international community wants to help, they cannot find a competent partner in our government with whom they can work to help our suffering people. We care that our country is grossly mismanaged and corruption at the highest levels of the government rules the day. We care that women and children are being raped, abused, and violently disregarded with impunity, and young girls and young boys are falling more and more into being sexually molested and preyed upon. We care that the so-called change for hope is now creating hopelessness amongst our people. It should have been rightly called hustle against the Liberian people, because that is truly what it is. Enough is enough. Today, we close the curtain on the honeymoon of unchallenged incompetence, corruption, abuses of power, selective justice, carelessness. Our people deserve better, our country deserves better, and we know that together we can do better, and yes, the CPP will do better. We thank our technical team and lawyers for working tirelessly to prepare this framework. We are also grateful to all of our partisans, supporters, well-wishers, critics, media practitioners, social media activists, and talk show hosts for the support, encouragement, and pieces of advice. Today honors all of you too. All who are disappointed in the performance of this administration and yearn for a better alternative in a more unified nation. I congratulate party chairpersons, executive committees for their time and diligence to see this come to reality. And also, I salute all the political leaders for the selflessness without which this could never have happened. Let's save the celebrations for later. For now, there is so much work to be done. We need to win the Liberian Senate for the Liberian people in a few months and replace this failed administration in 2023. Let's go to work for our people, and may God bless these works of our hands for the betterment of our people. Thank you. And upon that, sitting in the presence.
All right, guys. Let me just give you guys a heads up here. All right. And let me say thank you, guys, for staying put here. Tomorrow will be a very interesting discussion. Yes, tomorrow will be a very interesting discussion. I'm discovering some things here that is giving me a mind mapping of what happened to Alexander Cummings. You see, I want you guys to understand that I'm not doing what I'm doing here because I have an interest. No. The only interest I have is to expose the truth. I'm trying to discover the relationship that they have built against Cummings. A triangular relationship. Let me see something. I want to show you guys something here quickly, all right? Call me crazy, call me stupid, but this is what I'm working on here. I'm trying to expose something here. This is what I'm working on here. Exposure. I'm trying to build a triangular relationship here. Let's see. Josh Jala, Mr. Ure, and Serena Sifos. And in the middle here, let me bring it here. It's Mr. Ure here. I mean, it's Cummings here. I want you guys to join me tomorrow so you can see exactly what I'm trying to find out here. Serena Sifo is a crook. Josh Jala at the Morovia City Court is a crook. And Benena Ure is a crook. Remember a few weeks ago into last year, the May section of November coming to the 2 weeks into December when Milton Theory took that girl car and he said the Morovia City Court authorizing, but he said you're not going nowhere. It was the same Josh Jala. You guys in Morovia know who are the corrupt judges and they're playing game with the Liberian people. But tomorrow, I will show you real facts. That's what I'm looking at here right now. So let's listen. Namikanga is done. Let's listen to her sign her document. And then after that, podcast. And then we'll see what will be left after that. But again, I want to thank you guys for staying put. Tomorrow again in the morning, I'll be back here. And then in the evening, God permits, we'll come back and do this section here. All right? So you're getting the fundamental now. Ure has signed, Cummings has signed, Normally is about to sign, and Omen Joe will sign later. So enjoy yourself.
Of the chairman of the Liberty Party and local chairpersons in Grand Bassa County where we are, the chairman of the ANC, the chairman of the Unity Party, the chairman of the ALP, the representative from the ALP, and the Women Wing Chair and Senator Jonathan Carpet, who are all present here today. My chairman will sign this document and I will attest to it. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, and we are particularly honored that you have begun to show to everyone that this collaboration is holding, and as a very powerful political leader, you've been able to bring together our local chapter heads with you to witness the signing. We applaud you and we say thank you to you, and thank you to Senator Steve Zago and Senator Jonathan Kaipi for participating in the process. The Liberian people appreciate you. Next on the signing, the last but not the least, is Ambassador Joseph Nyuma Boakai, former Vice President of the Republic of Liberia and standard bearer of the Unity Party, who will make a special statement and proceed like the others have done with the signing ceremony, along with him the chairman, the acting chairman of the Unity Party, and the vice chairman for inter-party and election affairs. Ambassador Joseph Juma Boakai, over to you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. Thank you for taking up this time. I'd like to add to the list of those in whose memory we have silenced the late Honorable Geraldine Ferry and the Honorable Ada Clarence, people who have stood for social justice and true democracy in this country. In signing ceremony for the framework document of the collaborating parties, the CPP, on this May 19, 2020, I'd like to say my distinguished leaders of the CPP, representatives of the respective parties, ladies and gentlemen. I'm especially pleased and proud to sign on behalf of the Unity Party this framework document, setting out the roadmap for effective and genuine cooperation among our parties. This ceremony is a culmination of our long and painstaking negotiations by representatives of our individual parties. The framework document is a manifestation of our determination to forge ahead with our collaboration to put forth committed and loyal contestants for the senatorial by-elections and the single credible candidate for the 2023 presidential election. The CPP must remain cohesive and strong to replace a leadership that retreats into seclusion and remains silent when our people face existential threat from a deadly global pandemic and an economy devastated by a gross mismanagement, corruption, and utter incompetence. The Liberian people are hurting and deserve much better than the misrule they are now suffering and the responsive to their plight presently. Governance is not play, or is a play acting. Like the late movie star John Wayne, the famous movie star, says, never send a boy to do a man's job. I commend all leaders of the CPP for standing firm. I want to also thank the facilitators and representatives for their sacrifices and commitment to produce this document. Let us now go forward with a gumption and even greater resolve to implement. For this moment, I want to thank our outgoing chairman, Benjamin Ayure, for his courageous budget to this time. Also, Honorable Kofi Woos for his legal steering hand, and our lawmakers for standing by us, our technical team to their diligence and commitment. And last but not the least, to all our Liberians here and in the diaspora for keeping our feet to the fire. To our incoming chair, I want to say congratulations. Thank you and God bless you. We now proceed with the signing. Our chairman is here, our room here, we are maintaining social distance, but we have good Liberians who are wishing for the best of this country, with some women also a flourishing with us. This chairman, acting chair, the Unity Party, please do the signing. I signed my name.
Yeah, you sounded real good.
Well, the document is duly signed, and I want to thank you all and thank all of you for being with us. Mr. Moderator, the document is signed.
Well, we want to say thank you to the standard bearer and chairman of the Unity Party. Our partisans appreciate you. We appreciate your work. At this point in time, we'll move on to the transition of the CPP's chairmanship by Honorable Benini Wilfred Ure of the ALP to Honorable Alexander Benedict Cummings of the ANC. Before that, now that the signing is complete, we will ask Honorable Ure to officially declare the CPP framework document signed by the 4 constituent political parties, the Alternative National Congress, the All Liberian Party, the Liberty Party, and the Unity Party. And from there on, he will transition the chairmanship to Honorable Alexander Cummings. Honorable Ure, back to you.
Thank you, Mr. Moali. On behalf of the 4 political leaders, Alexander B. Cummings, Ambassador Joseph Liman Boyka, and Senator Yumli Kanga Lawrence, I want to, at this time, inform Liberians living in Liberia and Liberians in the diaspora that we, the 4 collaborating parties, under their mandate, have gotten together and we have concluded the first major step. And that first major step is the signing this framework document. And I want to show it up to the Liberian people and let them know that what they mandated us to do, we have succeeded in doing it. May God bless this document and use it to unite our people and move our country forward. I know time is far spent. I will move right on to symbolically turn over the chairmanship to my colleague, Alexander B. Cummings. My people, you know, all during this process, people kept saying, oh, rotational, it's rotational. Your time over, your time over. But like I told Mr. Cummings last night, at times you make hard decisions. But these decisions must be in the interest of the Liberian people. I didn't have to justify to everybody that I had a mandate, and my mandate was to ensure that this document is completed and that we move ahead. I'm pleased today to now, in my former capacity as chairman of the collaborating political parties to turn over the symbolic mantle of authority to my colleague, Alexander Cummings.
Wow.
And why turning it over? I want to assure him of our cooperation. And I'm turning over to you, Mr. Cummings, the people of Liberia. Hold them well, and they will hold you well. God bless the CPP, and God save us.
Thank you. Thank you, Honorable Yuri. We will now hear from Honorable Alexander Cummings, his acceptance remarks.
Thank you. And Ben, I thank you again. As I mentioned earlier, your resilience, tenacity has gotten us to this point, and we need to acknowledge that. I want the Liberian people to know that we have defined a process by which we will rotate the leadership of the CPP. That process is alphabetical. Let me also say, given the fact that we're starting this framework agreement formally, Ben and I could have decided that, ALP alphabetically goes first, and you could legitimately continue that leadership role. But he was very gracious in saying, I brought the CPP to this point, it's now appropriate to hand it over, and the ANC next in line alphabetically will take over, followed by the Liberty Party, and then eventually by the Unity Party, and the cycle will start again. So Ben and I, thanks for that. Ben, I want to remind you that I'm older than you, even though you're bigger. I'm your big brother.
What are you doing? You got me.
As we go forward, don't forget I'm a few months older than you, even though you're physically bigger and you think I'm your small brother.
Yeah.
Let me thank my small sister Yumli for your engagement and support. We were all up till late last night talking to Ambassador Boykai, Chairman Yuri, and Yumli to get to this point. So let me thank you all for your engagement. And I know I can count on your support. And to my big brother, and if I may, Joe, I'll call you Joe on this call, because I've actually known Joe longer than I've known almost anybody politically in Liberia. And I want to thank him for his advice, for his support, both in the past and going forward. And I know I can count on all of you and every member of your teams to help us be successful. I want to assure you that we will be collaborative. We'll try to build consensus, but we'll also need to make decisions along the way. But we'll do that in a spirit of collaboration and consensus, and we'll do the work to make sure that happens. We will not always agree. There's a saying that I like: if two people always agree, only one is doing the thinking. But I'm sure we will always find consensus. We'll always compromise so that we can move this process forward. And my last comment is to remind all of us, and I think we've all commented on this, is that we need to make sure we hold this government accountable to Liberian people. We know this government is incompetent, is inept, and our people are suffering as a consequence. If you ask Liberians today, are you better off today than you were a week ago or a month ago? Unanimously, Liberians will say they're worse off. And it's up to us to constitutionally and legitimately hold this government accountable and challenge them, and then to ultimately replace them in the senatorial elections coming up and ultimately the presidential election. So I thank you. I accept this responsibility with a lot of humility, and I can assure you the work will start right away, because this is just the beginning. The work now actually begins. So thank you all. God bless you, and God bless Liberia. I think Mo is muted.
Okay, thank you. We have Rugi Barry of the Liberty Party, Vice Chair, and also of TPP Women Movement, who will give our vote of thanks, and then we'll bring this program to a close. Rugi, the floor is all yours. T, you need to unmute Rugi. Thank you, Rugi. You are on now.
Okay, Honorable Joseph Yuma Boyka, former Vice President and political leader of the Unity Party. Honorable Alexander B. Cummings, Chairman of the CPP and political leader of the ANC. Honorable Benani Ure, former Chairman of the CPP and political leader of the ALP. Our Honorable Senator Yumli Kanga Lauren, political leader of the Liberty Party. National chairpersons of constituents parties to the SP and members, supporters, and sympathizers of the CPP, Liberians, ladies and gentlemen. It that has made me more proud as a Liberian over the past decade of this, a moment that
All right, we can hear that lady here right now. So we'll stop here. Full internet
in
connection.
our country.
All right, she's coming back.
Moment.
Rugi seems to be going underwater.
It's called internet protocol transmission. It's not going good.
Rugi, are you there?
So let's start this here right now, guys. Let's start this here and let actually remove these guys and let blow our screen up here. All right. And let me say a big thank you to every one of you guys. And like I said, we're going to be carrying a series of information here. So for those of you who started to watch this program, what you just saw, if you just come in, was the online by way of Zoom signing ceremony of the official CPP framework document. Ure came up with a very long statement and at the end made some political storm that I see as an intimidating threat to Cummings, saying that he need to have a strong skin because Liberian politics filled with attacks and he too will be part of the attacks. Cummings made a few comments and signed, followed by Nomdi Kanga, she signed, and Joseph Boyka. Now, by the internet geographic, Ure was all the way in Kirisburg. I believe that should be the northeastern part of the country or northwestern part. And then Cummings was basically around the southern part of Morovia, and I believe that's Cinco. And Nomdi Kanga was all the way in Buchanan. Boyka was at his home in Iedebie, so they signed a document. And that document was signed on May 19th, 2000. And I think it's 2019. Hold on, let me check my record here. I want to be sure that I'm doing the right thing for you guys here. Let's see here. Let's see here. Yeah, May 19, 2020. That one was signed. May 19, 2020. Now, after that document was signed, I don't know what happened, but one thing I want you to understand as some of the missed opportunity, I'm going to show you guys something right here. Right here is the online version of this document. But as you can see here, it was in April. I am continuously searching and searching online for the May 19, 2020 document. If Cummings is out there listening, or if you know Cummings, because he's the only person that I think can release the signed copy, because the copies that are online, they are considered to be unofficial copies. You see, one thing I don't like about Liberians, let me see what I can prove my point here. Let me see what I can prove my point here. Let me see here. Let me see. I want to prove something to you guys, all right? So just bear with me. I just want to prove something here. Good. I got it here. You see, one thing I don't like about Liberian, especially the way we do things in our country, it's not how the white man would do things on this side or in Europe. We talk about this thing, right? The management guidelines for the 3 counties community development fund, right? This document is online. What do you see in the document? Let me show you guys something. The signature of everyone. The chief executive operating officer for Estella Mattel, our ministers, they sign these things and they make it to be public record. One of the issues that Cummings is struggling with today, and he need to help the public outcry out here, is for Cummings to make available the signed copy of this document. That's what Cummings needs to do. And that will separate the Liberian people from the white man. This thing is online. They signed it, it's online. Cummings, they both signed it. These people signed it on July 2020. Cummings then signed it on in April, but it's not yet online. And that one area where I have a little gray area about Cummings transparency. He needs to make that document public. Because you see, the reason that I came here to discuss this document from Estella Mattel, corporate social responsibility at the community level, because they are signatory to this document. There is nothing in a CPP document here that say there shouldn't be any transparency. You see all the green tags here? I'm going through all the sections. Tomorrow we'll discuss this. Now, let me just show you a few things here, right? For those of you who have seen the document, you see right here, look right here. The CPP document is listed on sections. Equality, transparency. Where is the transparency? Where is the transparency? Can Boca post the signed copy for us to see? Can Numbly post the signed copy for us to see? Can Europe post the signed copy for us to see? And can even Cummings, Mo Ali post the signed copy, including Cummings? Can they post the signed copy for us to see? So why won't they get post the signed copy? Tomorrow I'll be calling on a very important guy. His name is Mungo. from the ALP, I'll be asking him to give me a signed copy. If he doesn't give me a signed copy, he and myself will not get along. Unless he doesn't have it. So I will text him tonight and ask him to give me, if you have that copy, give me a signed copy of that document from the ALP side. Because this is not fair to the Liberian people. This is not fair. Cummings should be able to have that thing on the ANC website. The CPP, Collaborating Political Party, should establish their own website and put that signed document out there for us to go and see it, right? Because that will exonerate all the missed opportunities. Because you just watch just now how every one of them in different geography of the country sign that document. The faces in everything should be done. The draft copy should be online. The signed copy should be online. The notarial copy should also be online to show documentation transparency. To show documentation transparency. Whether it is watermark. See, those are all who write regulations. Those are all who sign copy. Like this year, if you work in the environmental field, there is something called the Tier 2 reporting. All the dangerous chemical that were used in your facility, this year, it will be reported through their state, and copy will be sent to the federal government. And this thing is called hazardous waste reporting every year. That's part of one of the reports that we have to do by March the 1st. So this month, January, February, I'm going to be working on that document very hard. Some of you guys may know this thing in here. But every year they document. Now, what I'm trying to say here is when the document is complete, it will be called a draft document, confidential, do not share outside. That copy will be stored. When the document go through the next phase where it will be reviewed by technical people and they clear it out, it will go to the second phase and that phase will be kept. When you go to the final stage where everybody give you their blessing, then it becomes the final copy. And those things are kept and it's online right now. So I have issue. I'm going to contact the ANC people tomorrow. If they have that copy, I need to see it. If they have that copy, I need to see it. Yes. I know I've been beating on you here, but come and sign that copy and I would like to see that copy. I would like to see that copy too. I would like to see that copy. I'm not looking for joy from anybody. I'm just here to tell the truth. You get a signed copy, give it to me. The white people here, I didn't run behind them for any copy. Right now, you go online, you put in environmental management guidelines for community development fund, you will see the copy right there. And when you open it to the first page, the second page, you see all the signatures from the Liberian government. Coming live in America here. He was the CEO, he should put that thing up there. Let everybody get it. To see what is signed over there. And I'm not going to fault him for that, but I'm going to be asking for it. I'm going to be asking him for it. And I'm going to start with my man Mongo right now. I'm going to start with him. I'm going to start with him right now. Can you please share a signed copy of the CPP document with me? A signed copy. We can operate in the vacuum. We can't do that. We cannot do that. Those of you who watched me yesterday, I was here until 2:30 in the morning telling you my story. We cannot do that. That thing should have been signed, put out there. Can't do that. So I'll be sending out email. If they don't believe in transparency, I just want to find out who they are. If you are open, that's fine. When I talked to Nathaniel McGill this morning, my time, you must have had a conversation, and I told him I'm going to report it. That news story that just came up, where they say, I know Mopai Yopo is trying to say all kind of thing to the Liberian councilor in Washington, D.C. I took a screenshot of that. I sent it to Nathaniel McGill. I said, McGill, if you don't mind, share with me that information to make it public because it's already online through the front page newspaper. Whatever you get, can you share with me? Government is about transparency. As long as the government doesn't come out and say, this thing is classified, it's secret, it doesn't have classification on it, they need to share it. So I'm calling on Mr. Cummings people to provide that document, the signed copy. If you provide it, I see it, that's fine. We can start to have the conversation. We can start to have the conversation. There is something we call Freedom of Information Act. That thing should be public. I don't know whether when I go to the National Election Commission website, whether they got a signed copy there. All right. If you go to NEC of Liberia, by right, they should be having that document there for the public consumption. So this is NEC right here. All right. This is NEC here. Where do I go? Go to the media section, maybe their media section or their press release. You can go there, or do they have anywhere where they call archive, where you can look, or even do they have search, because you can search. There should be a search area here where you can search for something. I don't see no search area here. I just see question and answer, vacancy, media, procurement, check voter registry. They don't even have anything that have to do with search, because I could go in there and say search for CPP signed document. All right, they don't have it. CPP signed. I'm just doing it online now. Signed document. I don't know where will give it to me. You know, I don't know where will give it to me. I mean, guys, you got it out. You're up there. You know exactly what I'm talking about, right? You know exactly what I'm talking about. All right. CPP signed document. There's no way you can find any copy of the CPP signed document. I don't see it here. It's not here. It's not here. It's supposed to be here. Every newspaper should carry that signed copy. They sign a copy, they hide a copy. Let's see, I see one here, but I didn't see one here. All right, I see one here. That's the same thing here from April. Let me see where we have the signature with this one here. The signature sections will be in the end. They want us to have it. It's the same thing I got here. So if you're ANC mail out there, you are my only hope. You need to provide a signed copy. You need to provide a signed copy. Yes. Somebody said this is a cat and mouse game, and only the trap can win. I agree with you. I agree with you, Elizana here. I agree with you. And I think until I can hear, how you doing, Sis Musu? Until I can hear from, what's his name? From Mongo. Because I need this thinking. I mean, think about this guy. The sanity in different part of the country. But where's the original? Every time you go online, you only find a copy. And it's not signed. And it's only labeled April 25th. But after April, you got May, and the thing was signed May 19, 2020. How come it's not online? What can we see the signed copy online? That's the question I'm going to be asking tomorrow on my show. You see, when you look at somebody's video, it gives you the sense of where for you to start your conversation. Now, you will already sign. You cannot post it. Boga did not post it. Cummings did not post it. The CPP general did not post it. So where's the signed copy? Where is the signed copy? At least the one you saw them signing right now. Where is it? Where is it? Well, guys, thank you so much. Eric, I'll be calling you right after the show. Eric, I'll be calling you right after the show here. I'll be calling you, Eric, for us to talk. And Boyma, if you stay around, I'll talk to you because I'm planning to go upstairs by 12:30. Alex, I hope you're feeling well. I wish you a speedy recovery. I see Jackson here. I see Sierra Townsend here. Musu, she said, I'm in class. Thank you, Musu, for showing up. And Amara Keita, thank you for showing up. And then, oh, Musa Sako is here too. Thank you. Musa, I would love to have a conversation with you tomorrow to get your feedback on this thing here. Mr. Ogobe say if they are plotting against Alexander Cummings, why he can't prove he's innocent in this case. I think since Ogobe, that's why he's going to court. He will prove it innocent. Yeah, he will prove it innocent. And, yes, he has to prove it in court. He's not running away from it. But the only thing I'm asking for right now is for him to be able to hold the baking. My sister says she can see the baking. Oh, okay. She answered the question a long time. I see Imai Johnson. Oh, yeah, you are so balanced. Thank you, Imai Johnson. Yes, so I'm sure you and I talked today, so that's fine. Yeah, but I want to see the sound copy. Something is not right, guys. Something is not right. Why they don't have the sound copy online? Something is not right. And we have to dig deeper. Yes, we have to go all the way below the surface of the earth to find out why they don't have the sound copy. The sound copy should be online for us to see. All right, guys. So thank you so much. Let me make a few calls after here. Let me look. All right. So tomorrow morning we'll be back here, and I'll be asking questions for the sound copy tomorrow. Yes, I'll be asking Mr. Cummings people, the UA people for the sound copy. Why the sound copy of this framework is not online. If anybody got it today, please let me know so we can compare notes. Yes. Until then, thank you guys. Bye.